Welcome to the Good Rookie Show. My name is Faheem.
And my name is Nelly J, y'all. And we are good
That's
booking.
right.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Good Tuesday. Happy New Year. And guess what? It's the Good Rookie Show.
Yep, yep.
Yo, y'all, that was on the fly, y'all. I don't know what came over me. It was like a spirit of 2023, y'all. Damn, it caught me. It got me, Fahim. Y'all, welcome, Good Rookie Show. Happy to have you guys join us again. It's a brand new year, Fahim. Woo! Do you smell it? 2023? It smells like what? Fahim's like, what's your face like that?
Smells like success.
Like success. It smells like I'm drooling, y'all. I wonder how am I drooling? Okay, like success. It smells like I'm hungry because clearly I'm drooling right now on this mic. No success. It smells like just like trials and tribulations as usual, but we'll overcome them. You know what I'm saying? At this point, for him, I expect challenges. I expect it, but I also expect us to get over the challenges, over the hump, right? So it's going to be fantastic. So, guys, as you know, we're from Toronto. We record from Toronto. We talk about the hottest topic of sports and culture. And we thank you guys so much for hanging with us. We're recording for straight weeks. For now, we're on our 2023. Lord, we're in the hundreds, deep in the hundreds, okay? Deep in the hundreds. So it's crazy. So, anyways, Fahim, I want to first start off this episode with a topic that I think a lot of people connected with, right? Probably one of the coolest. Now, if you've never been to an NFL game, y'all, if you want to see like passion, okay. Now, Raptor games, the passion of the fans aren't as deep anymore. Fame, we know this, right? It's not as much. But when you go to an NFL games, doesn't matter how much tickets are, every fan there is very passionate, and we get that. But this Raiders fan, I don't know who she is. I don't know if the Twitter or the internet folks have found her yet, but she was so disrespectful for him to this young gentleman. He was a Patriots fan watching the Raiders game, and the Raiders won. And she was just like, oh my gosh, she was just in his face. I'm sure everyone has seen this video, pushing up on her chest on his face on him, like screaming at him. I'm sure spit came out her mouth because she was so close. And this man just was just so calm. And I feel like, you know, first of all, Fahim, when you saw that video, okay, and I want to give the gentleman all the props. His name is Jerry Edmond, right? He is probably the fan of the year in 2022.
For sure.
Fahim, what was your thoughts when you saw, that lady kind of screaming up in his face and talking all that, and he just kind of just stood there and ignored it? Like, your thoughts?
Yeah, my first thought was kind of disgust. I was looking when I seen her up in his face. I was thinking, what is she doing? I went into video not knowing what to expect. So I was actually, be honest, I was expecting a different end result after she was in his face. When he maintained his composure, I was surprised. And when the video ended, yeah, I was impressed. So I went through a few different stages of the video, but then I did circle back around to just discuss entitlement that I feel that she had. Yeah. How about you?
Everything you said. Entitlement, like apparently because first of all, yes, I guess you're a Raiders fan, but it's not your stadium, right? Fans travel all the time to other games. So, and the y'all, the Raiders ain't doing much, y'all. What are they doing? They're benching Derek Carr this week. Okay, he's benched for the last 2 games of the season. So why are you acting like your team is a contender, dog? Like, you know what I'm saying? So for her, I was like, you're not even like, this game doesn't mean anything for your team. Your team is not doing nothing this year. Like, to your point, entitlement. And I'm wondering, I have to ask this question, guys. If he wasn't a black man, would she do that? Was it because he's black and she knows that she'll have the upper hand? You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to ask those questions, guys. I have to, right? I'm not saying, yes, she probably would have chirped at him, but the way she was chirping, she was like, you can't do me shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Honestly. Like she knew that. And if you did anything to her, she knows that she would be able to carry her way out of it. So
Right.
at the end of the day, yeah, big up to Jerry Edmond. I don't want to talk about her, but I want to talk about how he just stayed calm. His team had one of the worst losses I've seen. The man did a lateral back pass and got picked, right? Like, and they were up. Why do that? So I just feel like, he experienced a terrible loss. His bet, and also Faheem, it was his first NFL game. His first.
Wow.
So imagine you go to your first NFL game to see your favorite team on a road, and it happens. But it ends on a high note. Mr. Kraft, Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, saw the video, invited him, flew him into a Patriots home game, and pretty much told him, like, I'm summarizing what he said, but he said, like, you are an example of what it means to be a true Patriots fan. You handle yourself like a gentleman. Like, and again, it just shows you that not Faheem, the message for me is that not everything needs a reaction. Not everyone deserves you to respond. And I hope in 2023, y'all, we learn to keep folks where they at. You want to be miserable and angry and gloat, do that over there. But I'm not going to entertain that. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that there's so many levels of like lessons in this experience. But I also think that in 2023, if they ain't acting like they're supposed to act, if they want to do all this stuff to you, y'all, just watch them. Eventually, they'll look like a clown and you won't. So that's my thoughts on that, bro. Levels. Levels.
Yeah, I was probably say I'm just most proud when I did see the Kraft's telling him that he's free to gave him a signed jersey, or was it a jersey with his name on the back?
Yeah, I think so.
Also said he invited him into their box to watch the game with them. I did find it. Was it me or did he seem just almost too cool? Like the reaction I felt that he gave was just kind of like, oh yeah, sure, yeah. Like there wasn't very much excitement to it, or is it just me? Did you saw it also?
No, I mean, out of all people, for you to say that, Faheem, because I think if that was you, I think you would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
I think if you were to meet like a billionaire owner in his box, you'd be like, hey, thanks. Like,
yeah. I maybe I was expecting something different.
His personality type, right? Me, I'd be like, oh my god,
right.
But yeah, I think, like, I think that's his personality. Like, he's cool and collected, and I would love to have that. I'm not cool and collected at all, but he is. So I think that's really admirable. But yeah, like, I think I could tell, like, I could sense that he was very grateful,
Oh, for sure.
And very had gratitude. And I think it taught a lot of young people of all races that you don't have to respond and react and retaliate every time someone comes at you, right? It shows that there's reward in just saying, listen, man. And he said it. He's like, yo, it's my first NFL game. I'm not going to let her ruin it. What a message. Can we pause there? What a message.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Honestly. I'm not gonna let you ruin it. 2023 is here, Faheem. We're not gonna let that person ruin it for me. He or she or them. You understand? Yo, Jerry Edmond had a whole sermon and he don't even know it. Like I could preach about this, y'all. I could preach about this experience. Let me stop. Oh man.
Do you want to just go to the
so the year in review.
Year in review.
Right? So guys, 2023, a lot has happened, a lot has been done. New champions, new MVPs, new failures, right? Listen, every year there's winners for him and there's losers.
Yeah.
Right? So we're gonna talk about a couple of the winners today and a couple of the folks that, just failed, right? So let's start with the first one. I want to talk about Faheem, your favorite athlete of this year. Which athlete to you, Faheem? Which, again, not the best, but who's your favorite athlete? Which is the one you think achieved a lot, did what they had to do? What's your thoughts on that?
Favorite athlete of the year?
Yes, for 2022. Favorite athlete, top athlete, same thing.
Yeah.
Favorite dash top.
Okay. So for this year, I would have to say Messi. It was the biggest stage. Um, it was a he just cemented his legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he doesn't win that World Cup final, um, it goes very much different. So on the biggest stage at a time where he's at the end of his career, I'd have to say that it's hard for I think for me to pick a bigger athlete this year than Lionel Messi. How about you, Nelly J?
Well, I mean, you said it, bro. That was my athlete too.
No.
Messi. I'm not gonna lie. Close second, close second, close second. Steph Curry. He broke the
Mm,
3 point. Like forever legend. He won a championship. He hasn't won it for a few years. He led that team. Like he actually led that team. He also won a Finals MVP, which a lot of people hold against him, right? Oh, well, you haven't won that before.
right.
So now he has it. Some haters,
Hmm.
pick pick a new hate. Okay, pick a new hate.
Right.
So I just
Yeah.
think that he does so much on and off the ball, and I think his off ball. I've never seen anyone play off ball like he does. I think he's one of the best off ball players I've ever seen with my eyes, including shooting the ball, right? Score. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that the respect was put on his name, and if he's not in your top 10 of all time in NBA, I'm not hating on you. I would like to know why. But I
Hmm.
think like Messi, there's probably going to be his last championship he won, but he did it with as a veteran to me, with new players, right? And with a new team, and I think he led that ship. So, but yeah, my favorite is of course Messi because he's been my guy. Like everyone knows that. But second, close second is Steph Curry. I
So
can't. Mm-hmm.
when you say Steph and you say pick a new hate,
Yes.
you're directly speaking to me. I'll own it because
Okay.
that's always been my narrative. He's never won a Finals MVP. Iguodala beat him out on a Finals
Oh,
MVP.
that's robbery with the
Yeah.
media folks
Um,
robbing Steph Curry of that, man. Oh
so
man.
yeah, I mean, you're right. If it's just the World Cup is a bigger stage than the NBA championship. So for that, we have to go with Messi. But if not Messi, you're right. A second would have to be Steph Curry in this case. Especially coming back after not, they had their run and it looked like the run might be over without Clay and from the bounce back again and get the championship. Got to put some respect on Steph's name with that.
Love it. So let's go to the next category here. Fahim, what would you say is one of your favorite games of the year of 2022? Lots of games happened. Lots of championships have been won. So this could be guys from anything. It could be from box. I mean, again, game of the year, match of the year. It could be race of the year, but any type of those categories for the game of the year.
Hmm. Game of the year. Okay. This might seem kind of obvious since I just mentioned Messi, but I have to say the Argentina France World Cup, and I know we just spoke about it 2 weeks ago. But that
Last week, actually,
last
last week
week,
was about it.
okay.
Yeah.
So, but that game came at the end of the year. That might be a good way to cap off the year. I have not watched a lot of football, soccer, all year, and the World Cup really got me back into watching, marquee type games. That was the game that I have to say it's got to be game of the year because most people who really watch a lot of games are saying it's the best World Cup game they've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta go with game of the year, Argentina versus France World Cup final. How about you?
All right. Well, that's a good one. I'm not gonna lie, that's a very good one. I also had that in my top bucket, so I'm not gonna copy and paste. But that's also one that I would pick. Another one that I would pick is it's close for me. Like guys, it's close because I have two that really are memorable moments. The first one is that Final Four tournament, North Carolina Tar Heels versus Kansas. That game, Fahim, was crazy. You thought similar to the World Cup, the first half you thought it was over, right? You thought it was done. In the first half, it was actually 40-25 for the Tar Heels. Okay, Then Kansas in the second half drops 47 and comes back to win by 3. That game came down to the nail biter. I thought it was a great. I mean, Final Four is always fun, but listen, last year's brackets, Raheem, I think people's brackets got mashed up from the first, second round, dog. And like the fact that Tar Heels was an eighth seed, they didn't do that well. In like the year leading up to that, and so that was to me was epic. So that's one. The second one that I have to name because this woman retired, and yo, when Serena played, um, I don't want to say her name wrong, but it was her second match in the U.S. Open, and she beat the second ranked athlete for tennis. Um, that game went to 3 sets, and she won. No one thought she would win, right?
Mm-hmm.
That to me is also an epic moment because I remember that. And when they asked Serena, "Oh, how does it feel to beat the second best woman in the world?" and she's like, "I'm Serena." Like, hello.
Mm-hmm.
Epic. What a memorable moment. I think for all tennis fans and just fans of, I mean, Faheem, there are fans that don't even watch tennis watching that match. You know what
Of
I'm saying?
course. Right.
That's
That
how
was
big it was.
right.
And it's Annette Kontavet. She was second, but Serena, like no one had her winning. Nobody, right? So big up. That was a great match. I think the whole world watched that match. And so I would say with, of course, the World Cup, those two, I think, games and matches were like most memorable. Your thoughts on what I just said? Do you agree or your thoughts on those two?
Yeah. I mean, the Serena, you're right. When she said I'm Serena, but also the timing also, the way it kind of capped off
Yeah.
her final run, which I think that seems to be kind of a common theme with what's happening there. Uh a lot of careers have been kind of defined or ended this year.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Memorable.
Also, Federer,
Yes, he retired too this
right,
year.
right.
And I'm a huge Federer fan. That guy, oh my gosh. Imagine like being able, and again, being a tennis fan was so great in the 2000s because there were so many great like players
Mhm.
within like the last 20 years. So tennis has had some good run, man. Like a lot of weird athletes. But
Mhm.
Federer, Nadal, I think he's probably going to be ending his career in a couple years. And Novak, he's the king right now. So with those guys coming down, but Nadal's been winning a lot, and Novak probably could have broken the record if he was vaccinated, but
Right. Yeah, the vax. Yeah, right. True.
but next year I think a lot of countries, I think Australia Open he can play in that one this year.
Yeah.
Last year they told him no, so I think he's going to be on a tear this year. So we'll see how
Mhm.
that goes.
Yeah, what a difference a year makes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's go to another category. Hashtag epic fail, hashtag absurd, right? Not that's absurd, just hashtag absurd, hashtag epic fail. These are any teams, any athletes, anything that you remember that you were just like, what an epic fail. Like, what an epic fail. Like, what the hell? So, um, what you got for him?
Oh
Which,
man.
oh, there's a lot, huh?
So
He's like, oh man.
epic fail. And it's not one that I saw coming. And that's what I think it makes it so epic. I don't know if there's disclaimer, I don't really watch a lot of NFL,
Mm-hmm.
but there's absolutely no way that Russell Wilson goes from doing what he did in Seattle, highly coveted, a top QB, to on the off season making a trade, or was he traded to the Broncos? That's
Yes,
your
he
squad.
was.
He
He
was
was
traded.
traded
Okay.
for like I think 4 draft picks, four or
Those
five.
picks. Okay. Because I didn't hear on the
Yeah.
other end. Okay, cool. So he's traded. Come on. He's traded to the Broncos. And in a time that's supposed to be, you know, giving Bronco fans, Elway vibes, see, absolutely stinking up the place. And reason why I'm actually doubling down on how epic fail this is he struggled for the first few weeks. I really thought nothing of it. I'm like, oh come on, this is Russell Wilson. Like he'll bounce back. I continue with my casual self. You get the week, I don't know, we're 8-10 or whatever. And what week are you in now? What week?
So right now we're entering. So when this episode drops, we'll be between week 17 and week 18.
17, 18. Okay. So yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
like I said, maybe I don't know, week 10. I'm still hearing he's struggling and I'm confused. I'm like, wait a second. He's too good to be struggling 10 weeks in. But I still didn't give up on him. Week 16, week 17. Are you telling me that this man is still struggling with the amount of money that's being paid? I don't know if anyone's fallen off a cliff as quickly as Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I have to agree. Broncos was a fail. And I just want to read his past stats. So to give you a little highlight. So Russ completion percentages the last few years were pretty good. They were based on season. Yeah, it was 64, 68, 68, 65. This year is 60. But you see, what Seattle had was they had a good running game, an excellent running game. The Broncos this year, running game was not excellent. It struggled. It struggled a lot. And so when you don't have a great running game, then all happens. So the offense of the Broncos is what brought them down. Their defense was really good, but with no running game, you knew that they had to throw. And that was the issue. And I think Seattle knew of Russ's, issues. So they always gave him really big receivers, right? As well as or really good receiver, really good tight ends, and of course, on a really good running game. So yeah, Seattle, clearly Pete, like I have a whole respect for him for Pete Carroll. Whole respect for him. Like whole respect.
Okay, so before we move on from Russ, I just want to ask, you said that he had an elbow problem.
He has some kind of injury. Let me look up what
So I'm just wondering, so is that elbow issue on his throwing arm? Because if it is, I think that's an obvious thing that we can actually use as a legitimate excuse for his falling, because if he's throwing the ball, like I said, I'm not watching it, but if he's throwing the ball any differently, maybe
yeah,
I
so
will,
like
maybe I'll
this
be a little bit
year,
more forgiving.
yeah, so like he's had multiple injuries, right? So
Okay.
he had a concussion. He's had concussions this year, but I think the main issue he's had was his shoulder. His shoulder was injury was an issue.
And
He's
was it
had
on? Okay.
injuries with his wrist or finger, his
Wow.
like right side of his body. So they're
See,
saying, yeah. So in October, yeah. So October 2nd of this year, he had a shoulder injury. October 17th was a thigh hamstring tear. And then the 11th was a cranial concussion, December 11th. So
so
he's had these
Mhm.
issues, but so again, a lot of quarterbacks have had issues like this throughout the season. Doesn't mean that you throw 4 picks, right? So, like,
Yeah.
yes, the shoulder issue is a thing. I
Mhm.
just don't think that it's an excuse, because a lot of times he's not even looking at the entire field. He's
Okay.
not looking at all the receivers. That's
All
why
right.
like Tom Brady's so good at Peyton Manning, because when they get the ball in the pocket, they're already calculating defenders, corners, safeties, where they're gonna go, and then they're gonna throw in a tight window to the athlete. Russell Wilson is not the best accurate thrower. He's not, and it shows
Okay.
this year. That's why he needs big receivers that can like bully and get that ball in the air when it's thrown. That's what I think. But hey,
All right. So who wasted more money? Cleveland with Deshaun Watson or Denver with Russell Wilson?
oh man, it's too early. Deshaun just got back, and so I have to wait a year. So as of now, it's Denver, because Denver
Denver.
also
Okay.
gave away so many picks too. So yeah, Denver.
Okay. Enough said.
Denver.
All right. What you got next, Nelly J?
Okay, so the next one. Okay, next one we got is any memorable moment. Let's end on a high note. Any memorable moment that you can think of this season, of this 2022 year, this season. So anything, it could be a pass for the culture topic, it could be a play, it could be a moment that you remembered, anything.
Memorable sports moment.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah. If you have to give one, I'll go first, and then you can piggyback
Okay.
what I say. So
I'll let you go.
the one that I'm gonna go with is Serena Williams. Duh. I was crying. Okay, I had a whole moment, guys. I was on my couch like, Serena. Oh my God. And also I was in New York too for like the US Open. I flew in, I think I flew in the night of her third match. So yeah, that's the night that she lost. But I remember just watching her talk, like just it was just like I feel like I grew up with her. So seeing the fact that it was her last match, she's such a like what she's done from when she was a kid to now. She has been like literally working on this like all her life. So I was happy for her because now she can actually, focus on her other gifts or other goals. But the fact that she showed women of color that no matter don't it doesn't matter if that sport or that job or whatever it is, was it meant for you to be successful? You can literally say, okay, I want to create a whole lane over here. and I will beat you in your own race. And I just think that she just revolutionized the sport, fashion, like attitude, personality. She showed that you can be an athlete woman and be aggressive and have emotion and be passionate. Okay. I loved it. So that moment for me will forever be like imprinted in my brain. So yeah, Serena Williams, retirement last game. How about you, Fahim?
Mm, that's hard to top. Serena, you definitely got that one. All that's coming to mind is Scotty Barnes winning Rookie of the Year. That happened in
Mm,
2022. And just because of the buildup between him and Evan Mobley during the coming down the stretch, maybe there's some doubt also. The fact that, he plays for a Canadian team, Mobley possibly could be uh, a media favorite, along with Cade Cunningham also. So that whole Rookie of the Year race for me was, I think, pretty memorable, especially since we ended up with Scotty Barnes winning for the Toronto Raptors, winning Rookie of the Year, something that hasn't happened in a while. I'm going to go with that. That was, I think, a very big sports moment for me this year.
that's great. Yeah, love that. Scotty Barnes. I think I was campaigning for him everywhere.
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh my God, everywhere. And I'm excited for what's to come with him. I think he's gonna do so much. Like so much in this league. Now, question for you. Um, has there who was the previous? Well, how many Raptors players have won Rookie of the Year for him? What do you think?
In franchise history,
Yep.
I think I'm gonna might be off, but let me go from the beginning. Damon Stoudemire,
Mm-hmm.
okay, clearly Vince Carter,
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Camby. Did he win? No, I might be off. No,
No, he
Marcus
didn't win.
Camby.
No.
Okay, we'll continue. So we'll go Stoudemire, we'll go uh, Vince Carter.
Yeah, that's it. And then
That's
Scotty,
it. Just those
three
two. Really?
and three.
Wow.
That's it. Nobody
And
else.
Scotty Barnes.
So
Really? Okay.
he's
Yeah,
a part
because
of
yeah.
history. There's only been three
Wow.
Raptors since uh, you know, since 1995 when we first, inaugurated. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Damon
Wow.
Stoudemire, Vince, and
All
Scotty
right. Dope.
Barnes.
Dope.
So he's forever going to be in the books, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's only one Rookie of the Year each year, and I think, and I guess and like if you look at his numbers compared to other Rookies of the Years, it was pretty impressive, right? Especially
Mm-hmm.
because he averaged a high rebound percentage for his size. Also blocks, like it's like he did it all.
An honorable mention on the way out.
Yep.
Pascal Siakam's 52 points at the Garden.
Oh, that was memorable.
Yeah, just due
Yes.
to the fact of where it was, scoring 52 is it's impressive, but where it was, this was something that's going to cement it.
It's
It's
like
not
the
like he
mecca
did
of
in
basketball.
Utah. He did it on Madison Square Garden. So Pascal Siakam 52 at Madison Square Garden, definitely for the franchise, that's going to be one of the more memorable moments.
Yep.
And for this year. So shout out to Pascal Siakam.
And he did win the player of the week. And he averaged that week, y'all, 37,
Hmm.
37, 39 points.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep.
Crazy. So big up to Pascal Siakam,
Hmm.
the Toronto Raptors superstar. Yeah, I said it, y'all. I
She
said
said it.
Toronto Raptors superstar. I didn't say NBA
Yeah,
superstar.
yeah.
Toronto Raptors
Toronto
superstar.
Raptors super.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm down with that.
Verbiage matters. You know what I'm
I'm down.
saying?
Verbiage does matter. I
Toronto
like that.
Raptors
I like
superstar.
that.
What's but what's funny though is that other media folks call him a superstar.
Hmm.
Like I've heard them call him, and these aren't Raptor fans. They've called him a superstar. Pascal is a
Okay.
superstar, and
Mhm.
other players call him a superstar. So I wonder if are we just really critical of Pascal? This guy's let it
Mhm.
sit. I'm just saying. Okay,
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll
we'll
see. I
see.
mean, the playoffs is what the defines. So
Look at Fahim,
we'll
y'all.
just
Fahim ready for
we'll
Pascal. Hey,
patiently wait for
Pascal,
the playoffs.
Pascal, Fahim ready for you in the playoffs, boy. We're ready for you. All right, Joe. All right, Joe.
All right. So did you want to go to for the culture, Nelly J?
Yes, sir. For the culture, I would like to highlight individuals for the culture. And today we get to highlight the man who rubbed his germs on things. Oh man, Rudy Gobert, y'all. Rudy Gobert, Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert, right now on a team, Minnesota Timberwolves. And a lot of people, question his trades. God, listen, if Minnesota wants to trade away their lives for Rudy Gobert, that's on them, right? But that isn't his fault. However, Rudy Gobert has continuously done things for the culture. So I think Rudy Gobert gets a really bad, I guess, reputation for him. People, I get it, DPOY of the year a couple times now. He is always an all-star. And a lot of people don't really value what he does, right, for a team, right? Because he is a defensive threat. But I do think Rudy Gobert, with what he does in the NBA, he does give back to the communities that he's a part of. And so this holiday season, Rudy Gobert did not like skip a beat. He actually he actually provided 450 Target Center workers. He brought them a $50 gift card and a signed card.
Woo!
So he gave every usher, concession worker, whoever's working at the Target Center, he gave them each $50 and he signed a card for him. That's amazing. On top of that, and this is something that he's done before. Like he's given in the Jazz during the pandemic, he actually gave 500,000 to Jazz employees to help with pandemic relief efforts, right?
Mhm.
He also gifted on a game night $50 each to all the employees there. So he's someone that just really appreciates those that are supporting the games, that are working at these games. And on top of that, he also has this charity called Rudy's Kids Foundation. And the goal of the organization is to provide food, recreational opportunities for children. So just a really, really great, I'll say someone that truly understands that, yes, I'm the athlete, I play on the court, but we couldn't do any of this without you guys that are working at these games. So big up to Rudy Gobert, and that's why he's for the culture for me. What's your thoughts on Rudy Gobert, what he's been doing this holiday, but also in the past? Go ahead.
So Rudy Gobert for this holiday, I thought it was very thoughtful. I read some of the comments when I heard about it. People were saying, "Oh, you know what? They brought up the mega contract that he signed." They said, "Oh, well, you know what? They did the math." And if you look at the amount he gave in comparison to his contract, it is very minimal, but it's the thought that counts. He didn't have to do it. So that's why definitely this is a for the culture move. Um, Now, in regards to his past in Utah, I'm not sure about how philanthropic he was back in, like what he had going back in Utah in regards to if he did the same thing in Utah. But
Yeah,
especially with
so I just said what he did in Utah.
that,
You missed
okay,
it? Yeah, so in Utah, so at the Utah Jazz during the pandemic, he gave $500,000 to help employees for relief for COVID, and
five hundred
$500,000,
thousand.
Wow.
$500,000 he gave for COVID relief for employees. 500,000 to Jazz employees.
Wow.
Yeah. And then he
So
also gave $50. So one game night, he also gave everyone that was working that night $50. each.
So okay, okay. So that the 550 right over my head.
So he gave
yeah.
so like he's it's not the first time he's done it, right? He does give
Right,
back
right,
to the
clearly.
employees. Yeah, it's not a one-off thing. Yeah.
Can you say? Can you say like
But I'm surprised people are actually like for you to say, oh, that's nothing. Like, first of all, guys, for those who are commenting, I bet you some of y'all didn't even get a freaking Christmas gift. Okay. Okay. So y'all acting like everyone gets Christmas gifts from families and friends. Come on, man. Like this guy doesn't know these guys from Adam, right? So to even gift these the workers, like, do you think they're like, no, Rudy, give me more? Like, Faheem, honestly, like, you can't please people. Honestly, you really can't. You really can't.
mm-hmm.
People love to
Mm-hmm.
critique any little thing. So if you're critiquing, clearly you're miserable. And if you think you should give more, how about you give $50 or more to people in your family? How about that? Everyone you know that you know, give them all $50 each. For those complaining about this, you do it to your own family, right? Oh, well, that's too bad then. If you can't do it, don't hate people who can do it. Like, people are so miserable. Anyway, I thought it was a kind gesture because you don't have to do that. You don't have to. And I'm sorry, guys. People that are millionaires, they work hard for that money. They work hard to get to that point. They don't owe you jack shit. They don't. Right? So if they give you charity work, if they give back, that's because of the kindness of their heart. They're humans too. So anyway, sorry for my rant.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's something I didn't know about Utah. Didn't know, and I just literally just found out about what he did for the Target Center workers. So, it's funny when his legacy in regards to outside the court is shutting down the world for COVID.
Oh my God, that wasn't his fault. I can't say that online. I can't say that. I'm making people come after me, dog.
Yeah, but yeah, that's an ongoing joke, because it just happened. He made a joke about it, then COVID happened like the next day or something like that, or they shut down the league very shortly after. But yeah, so I think it's good that you actually brought this to our attention now in regards to what he's doing, because this is something that very much reminds me of like something Kyrie would have done. Like Kyrie, he paid for WNBA players' salaries, which I thought was really dope. No one wants to talk about that. I put this in that lane also, and we'll throw in Utah. Appreciate you get me up to speed with what happened in Utah also. So Utah, Target Center, when you mentioned Rudy Gobert off the court, it's a champ right there, most def.
Yeah, and I think, Rudy Gobert is always in the headlines for all of the wrong things, right?
Right. That's what I was kind of getting
winning,
at.
Or, why would they do that trade for him? Or, like how much he scored. Like he's a liability on offense, blah, 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 right? Can't, struggling in the playoffs, all the things that they gave about Rudy Gobert. But I just wanted to highlight the things he does off the court, because I think it's so easy I get it. We're all sports fans. We all critique. We all do it. And that's cool. I think it's really cool to also say, hey, however, these guys are human, right? They have feelings. They're giving back, and they're doing things, these small gestures out of the kindness of their heart, right? It's called giving. Okay. And when someone gives you something, you do not get to critique how much they give or what they give or how they give it. Okay. Giving is a selfless act. It can be $1 or whatever. Giving someone anything, that it just shows that you actually are thinking outside of yourself. So big up to Rudy Gobert, man. I don't know if the haters Rudy Gobert of you giving only $50. Listen, man, not for him. I'm not gonna let it. Anyways, big up to Rudy Gobert. Big up to you, sir. Congrats. And thank you for, making sure those employees and the staff feel appreciated. And for those who don't know, like when you work for someone, Faheem, and someone gives you like a $50 check, tax free, you're like, oh shoot, that can go towards a bill. It can go towards this or that, or Christmas gifts for my kids. Like that money can go towards anything. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure those workers truly appreciated Rudy Gobert's gift.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Let's close out the start of this year with That's Absurd.
That's absurd, Faheem. What was absurd this week? What was absurd?
There's a narrative around Zion Williamson and him being out and reasons why he's been out. Jeff Goodman has tweeted out the reason why Zion was not able to be available against the game after Christmas break was Zion must have, this is a quote, Zion must have had one hell of a Christmas dinner, end quote. Absurd.
Absurd. Like, what? I don't understand. And what's absurd about this tweet, right? Maybe he was making a joke, like, ha ha ha, he must have had dinner, but we all know how Zion feels about those jokes. Like, he's made it very imperative that, you know, like when someone asked him about what's his favorite Thanksgiving dinner or meal or whatever, he said, nah, I don't want to get made fun of. So we know how he feels about that, right? So I just think the fact that, and again, the tweet wasn't just a tweet. So Mark Stein reported that Zion will be missing the game again, right? So the first thing that he thought of was, oh wow, I had a great Christmas dinner. No, he didn't. He was in COVID-19 protocol. That's why, and he missed the 2 games before that game. Faheem, he missed like a whole week. So my thing is that I just think that it's just tiring. I think like, yeah, Zion, you know, he did gain some weight, but he lost it and he's playing out of his mind. We had absurd for another reporter asking him about what you're going to eat for Thanksgiving. Like let's just stop. In 2023, let's stop this whole food and Zion joke. It's old. Like, it's really old for him. And I hope that all these types of comments makes him want to continue dropping a whole bunch of points and helping Pelicans get far in the playoffs, because it's just tiring. I'm like, what? Really? Anyway.
Yeah. So Zion, as much as he's being shamed by the food that, or what people are assuming he may have done tonight, like when he's playing out of his mind. So once that's one thing, he has to be on the court. He actually had a big game. He scored tonight 43 points. He did on
because tonight's going to be a different night that they're going to see. So which game?
Right. So he
like tonight.
the night that we're recording this, it was New Orleans Pelicans against the Minnesota Timberwolves.
There you go.
2 people from the episode. It was Gobert, who we'd mentioned during our For the Culture, and now Zion, an absurd. And Zion tonight, 14 of 21 from the field. He was 14 of 19 from the free throw line for a total of 43 points in the win.
Yep. So yes, he had a great Christmas dinner and he dropped 43 on your head top. Like, don't play with this boy. Don't play with Zion no more, y'all. Don't play with that man. Okay. He is the truth. Okay. He is dominating the league. Okay. And I hope he scares all the other fan bases, because when he comes to your town, Zion Williamson's coming to town. Okay. To jump on head top. So don't play with that man. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, what he eats isn't your business. How about that? 43. Good job, Zion.
All right, Nelly J, let's put this episode in the books.
Yes, y'all. That was the Good Rookie Show. Okay. And guys, it's the end of the year. You know, it's our new year, 2023. And I think the shout outs are going to be very simple for me. I wish you all love, like good merit, success, and manifesting anything that you have envisioned for yourself to meet. I'm also manifesting that all your bad habits, you pick 2 of them. Okay, pick 2 things that you know you suck at. Okay, I got a lot, so I got a whole list, but pick 2 that you suck at and try to improve on it. Right? Try to improve on it. That's all you can do, guys. All you can do is your best this year. Don't make this year complicated. Just do your best and you'll be okay. Like, I think if you just do your best, do what you can. Some days what you can will be a lot. Some days what you can won't be a lot, but it's the best you can on that day. Keep it simple, but I do wish everyone love, success, joy, right? Everything for him. So that's my shout out. It's to the world. How about you?
That's an amazing shout out. Very inspirational. And it's funny, the 2 things that you're not good at, that's good. I'm going to actually apply that this year, because when you said that, 2 things came to mind for myself that I say, hey, you know what, I can do better. So I appreciate that. On that note, let's put this episode in the books.
Y'all, that was the Good Rookie Show. If you had a good time and you enjoyed yourself, please like and subscribe and tell a friend to tell a friend. Faheem.
We're on all platforms if you're looking for us. That's the Good Rookie Show.
Happy
And we out.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
Peace, fam. Peace.